Hi everyone, I am Gladys. You are welcome to the Clear Minds UG. This is Rafa TV. So, as the Clear Minds, we are thoughtful youths that discuss about different topics concerning youths. And today we are going to talk about early exposure to sexual explicit content to children between 14 to 17. Joining me today are these handsome, knowledgeable gentlemen. I will allow them introduce themselves.
My name is Esodri Kategaya, and I take fun in writing and also reciting poems.
My name is Dembe Joseph Prosper. I'm a passionate youth in music and instruments, but I also love fine art and movies, also making friends.
Uh, my name is Oteng Joseph. I love football, sports. Actually, I'm passionate about sports, then music. Yes.
So before we dive into this topic, what's your say about this topic?
This topic is very sensitive, not just to children but also parents, knowing the fact that these children are exposed to such content at a tender age, 14 years and below, or even below than that. So my own take is this issue needs urgency, needs an immediate attention. It needs that to tackle the problem at hand with intentionality. Thank you so much.
So what I say this topic is so urgent. So let's dive into these questions. So Prosper, when was your first encounter? At what age? And what was your immediate response to this?
So, concerning this topic, I would say my first encounter to sexually explicit content dates back as far as 2008 when I was still young, naive about life in the village, and I remember there were these groups of boys in the village who used to feed me with a lot of negative information, calling people according to private parts. Like it was totally madness back then. And when it came to screen exposure, I think that dates back as far as P2, where we used to have our elder siblings bring movies at home, chase us out of the house, and they would show on the TV. And of course, as curious young people, we wanted to know what they were watching during the time they chased us out of the house. So that's when I first got introduced to such.
Okay, so that was back then. So, Joseph, could you please tell us how kids these days in this generation are exposed to such content and what are the causes?
So there are so many ways in which kids are exposed to such content these days. Uh, to start with, just like actually what Prosper shared has not really changed. So one of them is through friends or peers.
Mhm.
So like elder, especially when young kids. Okay. So I can continue from so especially elder friends. Most kids are exposed to such content due to their elder friends. Then other ways are like internet. So botunura music videos zenaku zineno. There's a lot of new like women don't dress decently. So and it is hard to control that. You get it. So but I love some channels in Uganda that don't play some kinds of music because they try to keep the respect. So yes.
For me, going back to Prosper's, I noted that this was a village. Your first encountered such explicit content, and it was through conversations with your peers. It is it is so easy to overlook the fact that villagers can also be introduced such content at a tender age and through older siblings, through older acquaintances. And Another thing I would like also to add with Otengi's point of view is that we get exposed to such content offline and online. And most of what we overlook also it is through that television's program. They say a kid should be watching a program of like maybe PG-13 and they're just 10. There are kissing scenes in there. You are arousing someone's most intimate being. That is our like sexual beings as human beings. And that is at a tender age, I think that is so wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, I also think, like Roderick has said, it can also be offline. You see, if you look in our localities, our societies, you might find children playing games of let's play mother and father. It's because they are trying to imitate what they see their parents do. And it reaches a point in the game and they're like, it's night time, the children, you go and sleep. And they want to do something. You can also see this some children are actually exposed because maybe it is something they can't control. Probably they stay with their parents in a single room and at night parents are doing all they want to do in the presence of their children. So it's inevitable for these children to unsee what they have seen. And when they go out there, they want to practice because this is the receptive stage in life. Things are just flowing in and they are easily synthesized and easily learned. This is where children learn behavior easily. So what they first see is what they go with.
So Prosper, okay, you have something.
So another thing I can uh, try to pick out from what they are saying, we have also permissiveness. Like these days, even on TikTok, you can find the kids sing songs that are vulgar, and their parents just look at them. That is permissiveness of the community and the parents, and we see that that can also be the parents' neglect of grooming their kids and telling them what is right and what is wrong.
Okay. So as Prosper and Oteng were talking about how these kids are exposed, I had the word parents popping up. So what should be the parents' role in prevention of this to occur? I'll begin with Oteng.
So, so I won't say a lot, but this is what I would suggest. So I believe parents, it's us in control of what our kids do and at what time. So gwe ng'omuzadde gezaako okufuga omwana wo by'alaba, especially on TV. So and you should put for them a time limit to what time they should end watching TV and with supervision. Even these kids, these days kids own phones at as early as 12 years. Essimu giteekeko there is restrictions nti they can't access some things and some things don't pop up on their phones. So those are some of the ways I believe we can control this. Yes.
Prosper.
Well, because parents are the primary custodians of these children, so I think it's a big duty of the parents to see, like Joseph has said, to see how they can guide their children because these are receptive stages. If they are away from teaching their children morality, they are going to learn this morality off the internet, and internet is full of a lot of things. So if parents can harness things like blog sites on phone, because you might give your child a phone at an early age, naye tomuwadde simu kubira gwe weka. You might find that this child gets exposed to, let's say, WhatsApp groups that are maybe dealing with hookups, prostitutes, but you don't know that. And besides, your child can even choose to block you from viewing their profile and their status, and you also don't know that. So, as much as you're putting a parental guidance on the phone, be there also to see what is on the phone, because you might be sure that your child is using the phone safely, but you can't see their status on WhatsApp. So, those are things a parent should monitor. And like Joseph has said, they should limit screen time, but also they should teach their children what is right and what is wrong. Because it is one thing to learn something from a parent and another thing to learn something from outside the parent's custody. It is always seen that, let's say, for example, a teacher's children are dumb in class. It's because they undermine their parent. They see them as a parent, not a teacher. But if parents can bond more with their children, then they can start to listen to them more and more. And in so doing, they can command this respect out of love rather than out of fear. So, in other words, they should also be there to listen to the struggles that their children are going through. Because some of these children are going through things because they have no one else to talk to, because they are the first priority or the first aid to these problems has put a barrier between them. Their parents can't listen to them. So if they can avail that time, it could help so much.
For me, I see a parent as a God, and as God, they have to love us harshly and also love us softly. But with the fact that parents are overlooking the fact that they are loving so softly, that they want to make their kids friends instead of wanting the best for them. And sometimes wanting the best for the kid is to learn to say no. Learning to say no to things like, mother, I want a phone. But you're seeing the kid is like 10 years. You're like, no. Wait when you get older, maybe 16 years, and you get a phone. There, like, I think at 16 years, you can actually control what the kid actually has to watch. And also the kid is able to discern on which content they want to watch. Maybe at 16, they can actually be able to decide what is good and what is bad for them. And you don't want to introducing yourself to such content at a young age is really bad. But at 16, when something pops up and they have not been exposed to such content, the first thing they are going to do is run to you. And the next thing you are going to do is try to prevent it, maybe by putting block sites on the phone. So that is my take. Parents should learn to love also harshly, just like God does. Thank you.
Okay, so this is getting intense. Let's dive to something deeper. So, according to you, what's your opinion to? Okay, let me first wait. Let me see that question. So, according to Prosper, what is your take on addiction to this, to such content like pornography and porn?
So, addiction is a very strong word that should not be underlooked, because there are so many addictions: alcohol, drugs. But when it comes to sexual addiction like pornography and other related vices, it is something that is so strong, something that deals with the soul. It is something like that kind of binds to you and it becomes part of you. So if someone gets addicted sexually, it is it is like they have taken on a new identity which they cannot undo. Unlike alcohol, which is just taking beer, and actually, I would say when people are being rehabilitated from alcohol, they are told to drink it less and less. But an addiction to something like pornography has nothing like do it less and less, because every other time you do it, you're reawakening something that was sleeping. So you can reach a point when you don't even have to watch a video, but you play it in your mind and it keeps on ringing and ringing. And when you say watch it less and less, you're kind of like awakening something that is already asleep. So and then this sexual addiction has negative impacts in it, in that you feel less of a human and you feel more of something that wants or craves sex at all times. You reach a point and you stop seeing women as women if you are a man, and you start seeing them as sex objects. You can look at someone and then you undress them, like you stop seeing the value of someone, and it can lead into other vices if it is not addressed earlier. You can start masturbation. If it goes to the worst, you can even start rape, and it you become more like a sex craving creature rather than a human. That's why I said it robs you of your humanity.
For me, I think addiction is just even a simple word to term it, but like addiction to porn or corn, as young people want to term it. It is like a craving. It's more than like an addiction, and a craving is it. The more you like, you crave something, you want to fill the gap between the craving and you, the person. So the addiction to porn is something like beyond our own imagination because it's not something you can just snap out. It is you have to build a system around you just snapping out, which is very hard because as Prosper said, it's not like alcohol that you are going to stop sipping like from 3 bottles to two then to one. Addiction is to porn is more like you stop totally, which is like as a human being it is really hard. So it is addiction to this thing is like it makes you an animal. As I said, you lose every sense of humanity that you have, and you become a walking zombie, a dead person, let me say, because you start objectifying women to your own needs. uh, you start craving sex at all times, which is very unhealthy. So addiction to porn is really bad, I can say, and it can cause a lot of mental trauma for you as a person.
So, according to all they have said about addiction, it should be something you should not be thinking of. So, as we conclude, what are some of the practical solutions we can help our youths out there with?
So, so some of the practical solution I would suggest is first of all we shouldn't pin them actually, and yeah, that comes with parents creating a safe environment for the youth to share with them, or their children to share with them what they are struggling with, and that comes by a parent building trust from the kid. So, and that that can't come about when the kid fears you. So you should create that safe environment and help your kid feel safe to share anything with you, by not judging them, because that is one mistake parents from the communities we come from do, is judging the kids without listening to them. So we should create for them that space, and also have a listening ear for them to share with us. Then something else is parents sitting down with the kids. Uh, so I know that most parents are busy with work. So, but we should try to create time for the children, and then we try to hear from them every evening. Greet your kids, and then ask them how was school. Just like in what the Westerners do, we see that here in Africa, kids have limited time with their parents, but we should uh, develop that. And you ask your child how was school, how is life. You can also start by sharing to them how was life, and don't make yourself an angel. So you tell them something wrong you did, so that they can know that it is human to do something wrong, and that will build the confidence in them to share with you anything they want. So yeah, that is what I can say for now.
So, Rodri,
Um, for me, I would like to appreciate your Tengi's answer because you creating such kind of vulnerability with your children gives them room to share, but also you as a person to help them through the things they're struggling with, like addiction to porn. My my thing is like more of a system, as I said, because to break this addiction, you need a system. You cannot just wake up and be like, I'm quitting. And one of the first thing is I will challenge anyone who wants to quit porn to know the reason why they want to quit porn. What is it like to be addicted? Is it because you have become more of an animal? Is it because you're objectifying everyone? Or is it because you are just tired of it and you want to start a new life free from porn itself? So you need to know the reason. Another thing is that know your triggers. Know what triggers you to watch porn. Is it when you are lonely? Yeah, is it when you are just tired and exhausted, or is it when you watch something ads on YouTube or TikTok or any other app that show explicit content to you, that show nudity to you? And know your triggers. Knowing what triggers you to watch porn is really important. Another thing is that create a new environment. You creating a new environment means that um, I, you know your triggers first. Yeah, I'm lonely right now, and I want to watch porn. So what other things should I do in this time? So replacing loneliness with working out would help. Replacing loneliness with writing or journaling down your day would help. Like find something you cling to every time you have the desire to watch porn, because I don't know, it may not be easy. It's not easy, that is for the fact. That's a fact. But you trying to find something to do when the urge comes to watch porn is really important. And I think knowing that it's okay to fall back sometimes. You cannot just fight an addiction. You saying that you have went like maybe a week without watching porn, and then you go another 2 days and you have watched porn. Begin from there. Don't stop and be like, oh my god, I'm so bad at this. I said it's going to be I have to quit porn all over and over, like, and this thing is done. No, start from there. Relapses show that you are improving, that you are changing. That's human.
Thank you very much. Prosper.
So basically, if you know, one thing to quit an addiction is to acknowledge how far it has affected you. And you need to also analyze your need, like Roderick has said, to quit it. And by so doing, you have to hate it. You have to know that it is so bad, it has affected you so much, even when it is just in the preliminary stages. But you have to hate it, and something you hate, you always work towards distancing yourself from it. And this journey of quitting addiction is not one that can be walked alone. It is like walking at night. You need a companion, like a torch or someone else to guide you. So, in this, I mean, you have to have an accountability partner, someone to keep you accountable, because you, as yourself, you may not see your progress. Well, you can, but you need someone to keep reminding you, okay, how was your day? How did you do this? Because you, as yourself, you can reach a point and then you give up, and then you feel like it's your new normal. But if you have someone to spur you up and say, okay, keep on trying, someone to encourage you, someone you trust, someone whom you know that if you tell them, I fell down again, they will not laugh at your demise. They may not make fun of you and make you feel like you're so bad. Because you, as yourself, you can discourage yourself. Like Rodica said, you might feel so bad, but you need someone to encourage you to keep on fighting. Uh, if we look in the Bible, Moses had a companion. Even like everyone who was strong, they had someone else on their side. Moses, when he raised the staff for the Israelites to fight, his hands were held by companions. So even this fight to end pornography addiction needs to be fought not alone. You can use the word on your side. You can read scripture to back you up, to guide you through it. You can pray. You can approach any other person with knowledge about it, so that you can end the cycle and live free and live with a clear mind.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So, as you've heard, please don't. If you just want to begin this, just don't. Don't go for this. Don't go for the nude pics. Don't go for all that content. You can live without this. So, as we conclude, let's have our final remarks from everyone on this panel. Let's begin with Rodrigo.
Um, for me, I want to end with not just an encouragement, but the research that has been approved and we that we have that we based on to have this conversation. Actually, the fact that there's something called the brain plasticity, and the brain plasticity suggests that young children, and I mean young, like from 10 and above to like 18, their they really have a high adaptability level, whereby they can really learn something quickly, and also drop the habit quickly. And that is why we have these conversations about young children. If you're a parent out there and you know your kid is struggling with such a thing, or maybe you don't know and you want to try to know about that your kid, that is maybe what is he doing on the phone all day, and you find out he's watching porn or something like that, this is really good news that your kid can actually change the habit, because they have a high adaptability. They can learn the habit, yes, quickly, but also they can drop it easily with you on their side. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we shall have Prosper next with his final remarks to you.
So my final say, because the issue is about exposure and addiction, all I can tell you is that there is hope if you put into action all the ways we've told you. There could be more, but one final thing I can say is if you are on any website and an ad pops up, please, if you're unsure about it, don't click into it. It can take you places you may never come out of. So, but in case you're already in that place, there is a life jacket that is there for you to survive that ocean, and you can be free once again. Thank you.
Okay. Let's have Joseph with his final remarks for you.
So what I would say is it's not too late for our children. Just like I will try to re-echo what Roderick said. Uh, Kids between the age of, let me say, 10 to around up to 24, I would say. So that is why education is done during that period. Uh, you can learn very fast, and then you can also forget very easily. That's why when you can hit a kid here, and then in 30 minutes she will come back to you, or he will come back to you, because they easily forget. So it's not late, and we can together help our children have clear minds and, yeah, become useful people in the society. Yes.
So mine is, as Joseph said, please don't tap on that ad. You can swipe it and it goes away and you're done. Because it will take you to places, as he said, that you won't be able to live easily. Thank you very much. We are the Clear Minds Uganda again on Rafa TV. Thank you for listening to our talk.